Good morning, students. Welcome back to 17th part of new series of video lectures which comprises MCQs on English literature from Anglo-Saxon to 20th century. And I hope it will be very helpful for your upcoming TGT, PGT and UGC-NET exams along with other English teachers recruitment exams. Okay, now let's start. Who called Shakespeare's plays the mirror of life? Option A is William Hazlitt. Option B, John Dryden. Option C, Ben Jonson. And option D, Samuel Johnson. Let me explain it. In his preface to Shakespeare, Samuel Johnson called Shakespeare's plays the mirror of life. He used this phrase to describe Shakespeare's ability to accurately reflect human nature and the complexities of life in his dramatic works. Here correct option will be D, Samuel Johnson. Okay, now let's see next question. Who wrote Life of Mr. Richard Savage? Option A is James Boswell. Option B is Alexander Pope. Option C is Elijah Haywood. And option D is Samuel Johnson. The first major biography, Life of Mr. Richard Savage, published in 1744, full title, An Account of the Life of Mr. Richard Savage, son of the Earl Rivers, published by Samuel Johnson, is an account of Richard Savage, a poet and writer who faced numerous adversities throughout his life. Here, correct option will be D. Samuel Johnson. Next question. Who has criticized Alexander Pope's definition of true wit? What oft was thought but never so well expressed? Option A, Joseph Dennis. Option B, William Wordsworth. Option C, Samuel Johnson. And option D, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. So, Samuel Johnson, in his Life of Cowley, criticized Alexander Pope's definition of wit, what oft was thought but never so well expressed. Here, correct option will be C. Samuel Johnson. Next question is John Milton wrote the poem Lycidas to commemorate the death of option A. Charles Diodati, option B. Andrew Marvell, option C. Roger Williams, and option D. Edward King. John Milton wrote the poem Lycidas, a pastoral elegy, which was written in 1637 and published in 1638 to commemorate the death of his friend and fellow student at Cambridge, Edward King, who drowned in a shipwreck in the Irish Sea. Here, correct option is D, Edward King. Next question is who criticizes Milton's Lycidas as the diction is harsh, the rhymes uncertain, and the numbers unpleasing? Option A, John Dryden. Option B, Matthew Arnold. Option C, Samuel Johnson. And option D, Richard Bentley. In his Lives of the English Poets, Samuel Johnson criticizes Milton's Lycidas, stating that the diction is harsh, the rhymes uncertain, and the numbers unpleasing. Here, correct option will be C. Samuel Johnson. Now, next question is who made the following statements about the metaphysical poets? The fault of Cowley and perhaps of all the writers of the metaphysical race is that of pursuing his thoughts to their ramifications, by which he loses the grandeur of generality. Let's see the options. Option A is T.S. Eliot. Option B, Samuel Johnson. Option C, Helen Gardner. And option D, H. J.C. Grierson. Here, correct option is B. Samuel Johnson. Next question is the rhetorical question if Pope be not a poet, Where is poetry to be found? Was asked by option A. Joseph Warton, option B. Samuel Johnson, option C. Ben Jonson, and option D. John Dennis. Here, correct option is B. Samuel Johnson. The rhetorical question, if Pope be not a poet, where is poetry to be found? Was asked by Samuel Johnson. Next question, the History of England, published in 1764, is a historical account by option A. Edmund Burke, option B. Sir Thomas More, option C. Charles Dickens, and option D. Oliver Goldsmith. The history of England from the earliest times to the death of George II is a historical account of England written by Oliver Goldsmith. Here, correct option will be D. Oliver Goldsmith. Okay, now let's see next question. A Vindication of Natural Society is a work by option A. Thomas Paine, option B. Edmund Burke, option C. Denis Diderot, and option D is Immanuel Kant. Let me explain it. A vindication of natural society, or a view of the miseries and evils arising to mankind from every species of artificial society, is a satire on the views of Bolingbroke by Edmund Burke, published in 1756. Here, correct option will be B. Edmund Burke. Next question. The line, the age of chivalry is gone, that of sophisters, economists, and calculators has succeeded, and the glory of Europe is extinguished forever, occurs in which work by Edmund Burke? Let's see the options. Option A is Reflections on the Revolution in France. Option B, A Vindication of Natural Society. Option C, Letters on a Regicide Peace. And option D is On American Taxation. The line, the age of chivalry is gone, that of sophisters, economists, and calculators has succeeded, and the glory of Europe is extinguished forever, occurs in Edmund Burke's Reflections on the Revolution in France, a political pamphlet published in 1790. Here, correct option will be A. Now, let's see next question. Which of the following work is not written by Thomas Paine? Option A, Common Sense, 1776. Option B, The Rights of Man, 1791. Option C, The Age of Reason, 1792 to 95. Option D, The Fool of Quality, from 1765 to 70. The Fool of Quality, or The History of Henry, Earl of Moreland, is a picaresque and sentimental novel by the Irish writer Henry Brooke. Here, correct option is D. It is not written by Thomas Paine. The Fool of Quality is not written by Thomas Paine. Okay. Next question. Match the following works given in list A with the writers given in list B. The History of Scotland during the reigns of Queen Mary and King James VI, William Robertson. A Vindication of the Rights of Man, Edward Gibbon. An Inquiry Concerning Political Justice, William Godwin. The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, Mary Wollstonecraft. The History of the Reign of the Emperor Charles V, William Robertson. Let me explain it. The history of Scotland during the reigns of Queen Mary and King James VI, published in 1759 by William Robertson. A Vindication of the Rights of Men is a political pamphlet written by the 18th century British writer and women's rights advocate Mary Wollstonecraft. An inquiry concerning political justice, published in 1793, is a seminal work by William Godwin. The history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire is a six-volume work published between 1776 and 1788 by the English historian Edward Gibbon. The history of the reign of the Emperor Charles V is a work by William Robertson. So here correct option will be B. The history of Scotland during the reigns of Queen Mary and King James VI is written by William Robertson. A Vindication of the Rights of Men is written by Mary Wollstonecraft. An Inquiry Concerning Political Justice is a work by William Godwin. The history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire is a work by Edward Gibbon. The history of the reign of the Emperor Charles V is written by William Robertson. All right. Now let's see next question. Which of the following is correctly matched? The Gentle Shepherd, Alan Ramsay, The Relics of Ancient English Poetry, Bishop Thomas Percy, Orpheus Caledonius, a collection of Scots songs, William Thompson, all of these. So here we have to identify which one is correctly matched. So let me explain it. The Gentle Shepherd is a pastoral comedy by Alan Ramsay. It was first published in 1725 and dedicated to Susanna Montgomery, Lady Ellington, to whom Ramsay gifted the original manuscript. It tells the story of Patty, a poor but virtuous shepherd who falls in love with Peggy, a shepherdess. The Relics of Ancient English Poetry is a collection of ballads and popular songs collected by Bishop Thomas Percy and published in 1765. Orpheus Caledonius, a collection of Scots songs published in 1726, containing about 50 Scots songs with the music by William Thompson. Here, correct option will be D, all of these. Here, all options are correctly matched. Okay, now let's see next question. Which of the following statement or statements is are correct? Statement first. The Lullan's movement refers to the 20th century revival of the Scots language, also known as Lullans in literature, particularly poetry. Statement second is, it was a significant part of the Scottish Renaissance which sought to modernize and revive the Scots language and culture. Statement third is, the term Lullans itself, meaning lowlands, was used by Robert Burns to refer to the language of the Scottish lowlands. Let's see the options. Option A, statement first. Option B, statement second. Option C, statement third. And option D, statement first, second, and third. So here all statements are correct. So option D will be correct here. Okay, now let's see next question. The phrase "haven't taught plowman" was famously used by the writer and poet Henry Mackenzie to describe option A, William Thompson, option B, Robert Burns, option C, Alan Ramsay, and option D, Robert Ferguson. The phrase "haven't taught plowman" was famously used by the writer and poet Henry Mackenzie to describe Robert Burns. Here correct option will be B, Robert Burns. Okay, now let's see next question. Which of the following poem by Robert Burns reflects the theme of despair, sense of isolation and hopelessness? Option A, The Jolly Beggars. Option B, To a Mountain Daisy. Option C, The Holy Fair. And option D is Despondency and Ode. Let me explain it. The Jolly Beggars, Love and Liberty, a cantata, is a song written by Robert Burns in 1785. To a Mountain Daisy is a poem by Robert Burns written in 1786. The Holy Fair is a satirical poem by Robert Burns. Despondency and Ode is a poem by Robert Burns which expresses his despair and the sense of isolation and hopelessness. Here, correct option will be D. Despondency and Ode. Next question is, which of the following novel by Walter Scott deals with relationship between Richard I of England and Saladin? Option A, Ivanhoe, a romance. Option B, The Monastery, a romance. Option C, The Abbot. And option D is The Talisman. Ivanhoe, a romance by Walter Scott is a historical novel published in 3 volumes in December 1819 as one of the Beverley novels. The Monastery, a romance published in 1820, is a historical novel by Walter Scott, one of the Beverley novels. The Abbot, published in 1820, is a historical novel by Sir Walter Scott, one of the Beverley novels. The Talisman, published in 1825, is one of the Beverley novels by Sir Walter Scott. It deals with the relationship between Richard I of England and Saladin. Here, correct option will be D, The Talisman. Okay, now let's see next question. Which of the following work is not written by John Galt? Option A, The Ayrshire Legatees. Option B, The Provost. Option C, Annals of the Parish. And option D is Red Gauntlet. The Ayrshire Legatees, published in 1821, is a novel by a Scottish novelist, John Galt. The Provost, published in 1822, is a novel by John Galt. Annals of the Parish, published in 1821, is a novel by John Galt. Red Gauntlet is a historical novel by Sir Walter Scott, one of the Waverley novels, set primarily in Dumfriesshire, southwest Scotland in 1765 and described by Magnus Magnusson as, in a sense, the most autobiographical of Scott's novels. Here, correct option will be D, Red Gauntlet. It is not written by John Galt. It is a historical novel written by Sir Walter Scott. Okay. Now let's see next question. The term Cockney School of Poetry was first used in option A, Blackwood's Magazine. Option B, Edinburgh Review. Option C, the London Magazine. And option D, the Critical Review. The term Cockney School of Poetry was first used in Blackwood's Magazine in October 1817. It was a dismissive label used by conservative critics Lockhart and his associates to describe a group of romantic poets primarily associated with London, like Leigh Hunt, John Keats, and Percy Bysshe Shelley. Here, correct option will be A, Blackwood's Magazine. The term Cockney School of Poetry was first used in Blackwood's magazine. Alright. Now, next question. Match the following works given in list A with the writers given in list B. Caleb Williams or Things as They Are, William Godwin, A Vindication of the Rights of Women, Wollstonecraft, The History of America, William Robertson, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith, The Tea Table Miscellany, a collection of choice songs, Scots and English version first, Helen Ramsay. So let me explain it. Caleb Williams or Things as They Are, published in 1794, is a three-volume novel by William Godwin. A vindication of the rights of women with strictures on political and moral subjects, published in 1792, is a feminist essay written by British philosopher and women's rights advocate Mary Wollstonecraft. The History of America, published in 1777 by William Robertson, an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations, published in 1776 by Adam Smith. The Tea Table Miscellany, collection of choice songs, Scots and English, by Scottish poet Ellen Ramsay, completed in four volumes by 1737, is a mixed collection of old and new songs and ballads by authors living and dead, known and unknown. Here, all options are correctly matched. So, here the correct option will be A. Caleb Williams or Things as They Are by William Godwin, A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Wollstonecraft, The History of America written by William Robertson, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations written by Adam Smith, The Tea Table Miscellany, collection of choice songs, Scots and English version first, written by Alan Ramsay. So students, that's all about today's video lecture. In my next video lecture, I'll discuss some more important questions related to your upcoming examinations. So please subscribe my YouTube channel and never forget to click the bell icon in order to get notifications and all updates related to your exams. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.